What's up, YouTube? Heel Jeff here, and finally, we get a half-decent episode of WWE Monday Night Raw. This week's episode is finally a half-decent show, a worth-watching show that I gave an 8 out of 10, a B. It was a pretty good show. Definitely an improvement over the last 2 weeks of just garbage. And, oh my god, finally, I'm so happy. Hopefully this carries on in the week. And Clash of Champions is, personally, to me, it looks like it's shaping out to be a pretty good pay-per-view on paper, at least. All the matches coming together for that. I think it looks really good on paper. It'll be interesting to see how it turns out this Sunday. But on paper, Clash of Champions, I don't know about you, but it looks stacked to me, if you ask me. But yeah. Anyway, half-decent episode of Raw. Let's get right into it tonight. What happened on Monday Night Raw. So, we got a steel cage match tonight. A steel cage match. Roman Reigns, Kevin Owens, rematch from last week. Beginning of the show, Foley announced that they'd have the rematch, and Roman would versus Rusev for the U.S. title at Clash of Champions this Sunday. So anyway, we get Owens versus, what's his name? Names mixed up again here. I hate when this happens. Reigns tonight. And we also are going to get Rollins versus Rusev right after the opening segment. Couple interesting matches there. So let's get into Rollins versus Rusev. So it looks like it's official. Seth Rollins is a face. He is no longer a heel. And how about this? Every member of the Shield is a face now. Interesting. Ambrose is a face over on SmackDown. Reigns face on Raw. Rollins face on Raw. No heels from the Shield anymore. Every one of them face. Never thought I'd see that day. But let's start with the opening match. Rollins-Rusev, solid match, ends in DQ. They both get counted out. They're fighting up the stage. And then Rollins goes over to the announce table, gets on top of the announce table, pushes Rusev down on the floor, and then jumps off the little stage area there on the Rusev, on the floor, takes him out, proving a point. Getting ready for his match against Kevin Owens for the Universal title this Sunday. Rusev obviously fighting Reigns, like I said already. So I'll get to the steel cage match in just a bit. Let's talk about what else happened on Raw. We had another backstage segment with Charlotte slapping Dana Brooke yet again right across the face. And then pushing her right to the ground. I'm interested to see what this leads to. I feel like we're going to have a match down the road. Dana Brooke's going to get a title shot. Oh, God, no. But it's going to happen. I really hate to say it. It's going to happen eventually. They're also hinting at a possible... Could we be seeing a Sasha Banks heel turn soon? Returning to a heel. I wouldn't be surprised if we see maybe Sasha versus Bayley at Hell in a Cell at October 30th. Next pay-per-view for Raw after Clash of Champions. They've been hinting at that the past few weeks. Little hints there throughout the show. But that'll be interesting. And see where that goes down the road. But yeah, they had that. And they also... They had a tag match, Charlotte and Dana versus Sasha and Bayley. Charlotte and Dana won the match. Little interference. Dana getting involved. And they won the match. Also, I completely forgot to announce it. They went back to last week. They threw Bayley in the match because, it was a double cover. All four shoulders were down in the match. Triple threat match between Dana, Sasha, and Bayley last week on Raw. Which, I don't know if that was an angle they were setting up. I guess it was. I'm pretty sure it was. That they would just, announce it this week. So we're going to get a triple threat match. Bayley, Sasha, Charlotte. That should be a really good match. This Sunday, Clash of Champions for the WWE Women's Championship. We'll see where that goes. What else we have? Braun Strowman defeats Sin Cara. Nobody cared about that match. I don't know what... I wouldn't consider Sin Cara Braun Strowman's first real feud here. I feel like, I hate to say it to Sin Cara, but he almost feels like a local wrestler, a jobber out there. He basically is. They aren't doing anything with him lately, but, no point to it. It makes no sense. There was an argument, Steph and Seth Rollins, they got the argument backstage, and then, Seth as a face, Steph as a heel. Steph saying how, Owens is better than Rollins, he's gonna, he prevails and we'll get more with the Universal title. He's a better champion than you are. all that stuff, just building up the match. Be interesting to see if we get Triple H this Sunday. I think we're going to get Triple H this Sunday at Clash of Champions. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments if you think Triple H will show up Sunday at Clash of Champions and help KO retain his Universal title. Hopefully we don't get a cheap finish where, it's just a DQ, Owens retains, Rollins ends up getting the win, but, just help from Triple H. It could be setting up, but I think it's going to set up a match at Hell in the Cell between Rollins and Triple H inside Hell in the Cell. I'm going to go out and say that right now here, that match could happen at Hell in the Cell. I wouldn't be surprised. I heard they were going to hold Rollins and Triple H all the way till WrestleMania 33, but, they're already building it up right now, so, I don't know. I don't see how you can wait that long for that match. But, yeah, that's that. What do we got? Cesaro defeated Sheamus. Best of 7 series now tied at 3. Just like I said a few weeks ago, Cesaro was going to come back, tie the series up, and I said he was going to win the series. And, of course, the final match is going to be at Clash of Champions this Sunday. And I still think Cesaro is going to win the series. I don't know. I've gotten kind of tired of these matches. I'm sure the match Sunday will be pretty good, but like this week's, last week's, you know what I mean? Nothing really much to them. Didn't really care for them that much. When you see the same thing over and over again, they run out of the, things to do in the match. You know what I mean? They hit all the good spots already in the first few matches and stuff. That by the, the last few matches, they're just, you know what I mean, going out there trying to figure out what to do. But yeah, I say Cesaro's gonna win the tournament. In the series. What else we get? Jericho and Mick Foley segment backstage. Jericho's writing a list down of things Mick Foley does wrong. That's good. He said babyface on TV. What a day to be alive. 2016 babyface said on WWE TV live on Monday Night Raw. Wow. Thought we weren't supposed to use those terms, Jericho. Let's go. Let's see what else we got here. Alright, so yeah, all the hype tonight was the Cruiserweights finally going to be on Raw. I was excited for it, hoping they were going to bring a good thing to Raw, save Monday Night Raw, because it has just been garbage the last 2 weeks leading up to this week. So we do get the Cruiserweights on Raw, and we get a fatal 4-way match, #1 contender match to face T.J. Perkins for the Cruiserweight title at Clash of Champions this Sunday. The 4 men in this match, we had Brian Kendrick, Cedric Alexander, Rich Swann, and Grand Metalik. Brian Kendrick won the match. He'll take on T.J. Perkins for the Cruiserweight title this Sunday. I'll let you know in my predictions video who I think is going to win that match. Good match, though. I was very excited when they announced it was a Fatal 4-Way match because these guys can put on a hell of a one-on-one match I've seen in the Cruiserweight Classic tournament. So a Fatal 4-Way match, they put on a hell of a match, and it definitely, without this match happening on Raw, it would definitely change my thoughts on this episode of Raw. Could have at least been maybe 6.5 out of 10, 7 out of 10, but with this match, it definitely made it at least an 8 out of 10, and it did help. Hopefully, we get good stuff like this every week on Raw. So yeah, that would be another match, just making Clash of Champions, like I said, a stacked card, if you ask me. It looks really good on paper, so hopefully, the way it looks on paper, it turns out that good this Sunday at the pay-per-view. What do we got here? We had a big pointless tag team match. It was like a 10-man tag. It was Jericho. He came out. He started, talking about that list he was writing or whatever. And then all these guys started coming out. Enzo and Cass, New Day, Gallows Anderson, Shining Stars, and then Sami Zayn. And then they went to commercial, and then they came back, and during commercial, Mick Foley set up a match between them. Sami Zayn, New Day, Enzo, and Cass, they won the match. I don't know what the point of this was. I guess it was just a way to get everyone on the card tonight, you know what I mean? Because, they all have kind of matches. Have they announced Enzo and Cass versus the Shining Stars yet for the pay-per-view? Because I haven't heard that. I'm pretty sure they're going to announce it. Don't know when, but that should be announced. It might have been already. I might have completely missed it. But we got, Sami Zayn, Chris Jericho, New Day, Gallows Anderson for tag titles. All that happened in Sunday, Clash of Champions. Alright, let's get to the main event. We got a steel cage match on Raw. I saw people saying there were reports that there were a steel cage and they were setting it up at the arena. I didn't even realize it until he said it. I saw some people. I didn't really look into it. But and then I noticed it. So getting a steel cage match, rematch of last week. Not the same stipulation. Not if Roman wins, he doesn't get into the match. It's just a one-on-one match. No titles, no number one contender, anything. It's just Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens, one-on-one, inside a steel cage. That's it. They fight. Good match inside, and then Owens tries to go out the door. Roman's on the top, and he just goes real fast up and over, and he gets out just before KO does. Lands on the floor. KO falls out on the over by the door. Roman picks up the win here, and then Rusev, just like last week, makes a return, attacks him, and then him and KO, they're in the cage beating him up. Rusev locks the door with the chain, and then who makes the save? Seth Rollins makes the save. He comes out, climbs up the cage. He starts, he threw Owens down, and then Rusev goes up, kicks him down, and then they're both standing there. Rollins goes up to the corner of the cage, huge leap from the top, jumps right onto both of them. It was crazy. That was cool to see, but so that's obviously setting up their two matches. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of the build for the pay-per-view, but on paper, like the matches, they look good. But cool to see a steel cage match on Raw. We haven't seen them in a while. The match itself wasn't the best, but I like the ending. Rollins going up, jumping off. That was cool and all, but that's basically it. Rollins helping Reigns. Another one of those things where we ever thought, well, when would we see that? As much as, they've been feuding, and now they're going to make them look like they're best friends. Interesting how things work in the WWE these days. Well, that's basically it for Monday Night Raw, guys. They announced a shitload of stuff on the pre-show. I mean, I wasn't watching the pre-show, but I guess they're getting me to watch it now because they announced like half the show on the pre-show. Apparently they said the Rusev Rollins match, that was on the pre-show. A bunch of stuff I was reading on Twitter, and it was just saying, they were saying everything, basically revealed half the entire episode of Raw on the pre-show. So I guess they're going to have me watching the pre-show next week. Well, that's basically it for Raw, guys. Follow me on Twitter, @JeffTuffner. Leave a like, comment, tell me what you guys thought of Raw, what you graded it out of 10. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. SmackDown review. I don't know if SmackDown's going to top Raw this week. I thought Raw was pretty good. But, oh yeah, I completely forgot to bring it up. The commercial break for SmackDown that came on, commercial saying they're going to have a title match tomorrow. We got Miz versus Ziggler IC title, and we get John Cena versus Dean Ambrose in a one-on-one match. That already makes SmackDown looking good tomorrow, so maybe SmackDown will top Raw. I don't know. Looking like a good week so far with WWE, and then we got Clash of Champions this weekend. So, so far so good this week. So, yeah. See you tomorrow. Thank you for watching.